He's fine. He'll be fine. He has to strengthen his back. And so now, are we on everything?
Not yet.
Huh?
You can just stop. You can just.
I can stop talking now?
Yeah.
So Joel, he said I can stop talking now. Whatever. And we're going to do the intro. Hit it.
No.
One, two, three, four. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh,
Hey, guys.
it's the Hake
Hi, y'all.
The Hake Report, la la la. Oh,
Hey, guys.
La la la.
TheHakeReport.com. Welcome to the show. This is not Hake. I have the honor of sitting in for Hake today. Hake is out once again with a beta back. And so wish him well. He'll be fine. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77 JESSE. I want to quickly, and then I'll go to the phones, give you an example of a new level of craziness. And it's getting worse because the men are weak. And Lord knows, men are weak today. And so we're showing them how to return back to strength by returning to the Father. All those who are born of the mother are dying. Those who were born of the Father are living. They are living. The Father's love is life. It's a light unto your feet. It is life. And when men are weak, the family goes crazy, the world will go crazy. Look at the black family. It's screwed up because the men are weak. And the women, black women, not all, but most are absolutely out of control. They're in the wilderness, in the darkness, trying to find their way to the light. But they won't find it until they return to the Father. And the same thing that's happened to the black family, black community, is now happening to white families, white communities. The white man is under attack. They got to get you out of the way. And once they do, they can deceive the woman and children because the woman is emotional. She has an illogical mindset. Up and down, in and out, feel good, feel bad, hate, love, all the same. You must return to logic, common sense, and that can only come from the man. And the only way the women are going to become that way, they have to return to the Father, and God will give them a logical mind and erase the illogical mindset and bring them in. Isn't that amazing? It's so simple. Get up off your knees, boy. It's so simple.
Tell everybody there's an inside joke.
That's an inside joke. Inside joke. This is from CBS. A Chinese court has ordered a man to pay his ex-wife for all the housework she did during their marriage in a landmark divorce case. Watch this.
A Chinese divorce court has ordered a man to compensate his ex-wife for the housework she did during their marriage. He will pay his ex-wife the equivalent of $7,700 for 5 years of work. The ex-wife will receive custody of the kids. The man will also pay about $300 a month in alimony. The court ruling follows a new civil code in China, allowing spouses to seek compensation in a divorce if he or she had more responsibility in housework and childcare. Some social media users are criticizing the ruling, saying the woman was not given enough money.
She must be a lazy wife. She only got $7,000. 7,000 for 5 years of housework. She must be one of those lazy wives. They want to cook. They want to clean.
I was expecting a higher number.
Me too. Didn't want to be pregnant in the kitchen. Must have been a lazy wife. No wonder you got rid of her. But isn't that amazing? Now we're going to start hearing more of that. And more women are divorcing than men today. They're the ones filing for divorces. And she gets $7,700.
And the kids. But where's his?
I know. And his children.
Where's his reward for going out and working, providing for the family? Does he get a little bonus?
I rest my case. And then she gonna want more money. You got to pay child support. So she get her hair and nails done.
Horrible.
Oh, she's getting $3,000 alimony a month.
I thought it said 300. Maybe it was 3,000.
Oh no, it ain't on 300. Amazing. What a messed up world, right? And she was living there. She got free rent, free electric bill, free everything. What the? Men, you got to wake up. And I've been told that Kim West, that's her name, right? Kim West is divorcing, filed for divorce with Kanye West. Kanye West. Men, do not marry educated women. Don't marry them. They do not make for good wives and mothers. Men, I don't care how fine she is or whatever turning you on, right? Do not marry an educated woman. It's going to end in divorce. And even if you end up staying, she's going to make you into a woman. They don't make for good wives, men. They do not make for good mothers. Y'all do what you want, but you've been warned. And they're not smart. They think they're smart because they go to school. They're not smart. They still have those illogical mindset. And they're selfish because any woman that will go to work and leave your children at home or with some babysitter or some daycare, they have no love. They don't love your children. They are selfish. All ego. That's Kanye and Kim.
Yeah, that's Kanye and Kim.
So she filed for the. Isn't Kanye a Christian now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. Good rhythm to bad rubbish.
And they got married.
And that woman.
Yeah, they were dating before he became a Christian. So.
Oh, okay. We all make stupid mistakes in that fallen state, that's for sure. Well, I wish him well. I wish her well, too. May God have mercy on her soul. May God have mercy on her soul. Joe is a first-time caller out of California. Joe, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Praise God.
Hey, Joe.
How are you?
Amazing.
That's one way to get me. One way to get me to listen to Hake's deal. Just overlap it.
Right on.
All right. I guess my question is: would Jesus wear a mask?
I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
No, he wouldn't wear one.
I think we put too much trust in our government and not enough in God.
Well, one thing for sure, the government is too big. We have allowed it to take too much control over our lives. And once the government, because it's all ego and it's about controlling the people, once the government take hold, they're not going to let you go.
Yeah, this is a big picture. This isn't just about mask or six. We are the ones, and like in your song, it's now is the time. We have to stand up now before it gets really ugly. The mask is the perfect thing for men to stand up and start saying no. If we do it in little groups, or we actually see the people we're against, or whatever it is we're against, that energy that's doing this to us all is got a plan.
Yeah.
We, as men, don't have a plan. We gotta stand up now, no matter what happens.
It's time. It's definitely a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. And during my show today, I read a report about how they're turning against Christianity. There's these so-called 100 fake evangelicals who are children of the lie. They signed something denouncing Christianity as Christian nationalism. So these liberals who are the children of Satan, they are getting involved in every aspect of our lives. They're trying to take over. We got to wake up before it's too late.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the whole plan, is for Satan to do away with God. And it's time. And like I said, it's a lot better than arming up with weapons and stuff that has never worked, is to stand up against this mask.
Yeah, best to stand up with the. While it's time, we better stand up with the truth.
Yeah,
because
that's
the truth.
I hate to say it, man. I love you. Yeah, I wish I met somebody like you about 55 years ago.
Well, you're still young, Joe. God is with you, and God is not into the age thing. He's into right now, right? And so he'll use you in amazing ways.
I get that, but I because not hearing the truth, from only hearing, baloney from them, whoever they are,
Yeah.
I made my life really, really difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's only for like the last 20 years I've been able to get a grip on it.
Right on. Amazing.
Yeah, and one thing you said that kind of, I love everything you say. Stuff hurts. When the truth hurts. However, when you said that the businesses, if they say wear a mask, you said like last week or something.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart, because
well,
that's
if you go into a private business, the man that started the business has a right to run it the way he wants.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not the man that started the business, though. It's the authority, the unbelievable make-believe authority that's above him, that's forcing him by threat, by actual weapon threat. They'll come and get him.
Well, whose fault is it that he gives into the threat?
Well, the reason why is because we're going along with it.
Right.
If 5 guys walked into the store at one time and wasn't wearing a mask, they could create a lot of havoc with that.
I know, but if the owner of the business said, no, I'm not doing that, he will
only
get this.
because he's under threat.
He will,
That's all.
I know, but if he stood up, he will get support from others. But if he doesn't stand up, there's no sign that he's standing up.
And he's not gonna stand up until he's forced to. We have to bring it to the businesses.
No.
The government,
no.
The government, yes, we have, and it's not their fault.
Joe,
we know it's not their fault.
Joe.
Yes.
If the owner of the business said, no, I'm not standing up, he will get the support from the people. But if he doesn't say anything, we don't know where he's coming from. He can't get support.
I understand, but that's putting a lot of weight on that one owner. We have to help the owner.
But you don't know what the owner wants if he's not speaking out.
We all know it's a bunch of baloney by now.
I know, but you don't know where the owner stands unless he speaks up.
I hear you, and
because you may run into a store without a mask, and you're imposing on the owner. He's going to get you out of there. Like, no, that's not what I want.
We all know it's not the owner, though. It's not the owner.
But you don't know that. You don't know that. There are some owners who are afraid, and they are giving into it.
That's why there's only 1 or 2 that we hear about on the news that actually go against it, because
those are the ones that you should support, the ones that are speaking out. But if they're not speaking out, you can't support them because you don't know where they're coming from.
They're risking everything now. When they have to
it doesn't matter. The ones that are speaking out are risking everything as well.
The customers have to speak out. Us, the men, have to stand up and say no. It's baloney. And there's lots of ways we can do. We have to bring this battle to the ground.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to know which business to support if the owner is not saying anything?
We can't think about that.
Yes, you can. You don't have a right to impose upon a private. You don't have a right to impose upon a private business. If that owner doesn't want to speak out, He has a right not to speak out, and he might not like the fact that you imposing your will on him.
So all the owners
that would
don't
make
speak
you
out.
no different than the government.
Well, that's right. We are at war.
I know, but Joe, Joe,
yes.
calm down. If the owner of the business does not, if the owner of the business does not speak out, you don't know where the owner is coming from, right?
Yes, I understand that.
And so, what gives you the right to go and impose your idea on the owner when you don't know if he's okay with it or not?
It don't matter.
It does matter. What gives you the right to do that?
Yes, there's one owner.
What gives you the right? Joe, wait. Stay with me on that. Stay with me on this. Stay with me. What gives you the right to impose your idea on an owner without knowing what he or she wants?
What gives these monsters the right
No,
to
you're not.
impose
That
all
ain't
this
the question. That ain't the question.
We're past that.
We're not past that. You didn't answer that yet.
What? Answer what? What was the question?
What gives you the right to impose your will on the owner if you don't know what the owner wants?
It doesn't matter what anybody wants at this point.
Then that's what the government is saying. The government is saying it doesn't matter what you want.
That's right. Now I'm saying I'm at war.
Well, you're no different than the government.
I don't understand. I'm not imposing my will.
Yes, you are. You don't know what the owner wants, and you said it doesn't matter.
I get what you're saying about the owner.
What am I saying? What am I saying?
You're saying that the owner is he's saying, "Oh no, I'm afraid of this virus. Everybody wear a mask," and that's not what's happening. We all.
Joe, what am I saying? That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're saying that what gives me the right to go against another man's right, and in my answer to that is we are at war. They are never, ever going to stop.
So being at war give you the right to impose on a business owner?
Let me think about that. Yeah, my rights are being imposed. He's imposing my rights.
No, so it gives you the right. You don't care.
Wear a mask.
So,
no man can make me wear a mask.
Joe, come back.
Jesse.
If a business owner, you don't know what the business owner wants.
Yes, you're right.
You still have a right to impose on that business owner, right?
No, he's imposing on me.
How is a private business owner imposing on you?
Well, then let him kick me out. But I'm going to make a stink. I'm going to go in there and.
So then, what's wrong with the government doing? So then, what's wrong with the government doing that then?
The government is doing it to us.
What's wrong with the government doing it to that business owner?
What do you mean? What's wrong with it? That is completely goes against our Constitution.
But does it goes against the Constitution for you to impose on the business owner?
What was that? Say it again.
Does it goes against the Constitution for Joe to impose upon
Correct.
it?
And Joe has got to have.
No, answer that question first. Does it goes against the Constitution for Joe to impose on it?
No.
What?
No.
Oh, it doesn't go against the Constitution for you to impose on a private business, but it goes against the government for. It goes against
the Constitution.
What?
It might be against the law for me to go into somebody's establishment and create a scene or whatever, and you can arrest me. Go ahead, take me down.
But so then, Joe, if you could do it, the government can do it.
The government? What do you mean? We are in war against these beasts that are imposing.
But that doesn't give you the right to impose on a business that might not want you to come in there and do that.
Okay, you're correct. It doesn't give me the right.
So why do it then?
I don't care.
Well, then the government doesn't care.
What do you mean?
The government making you wear a mask because they don't care what you want, right?
Yeah, they don't care.
And so you don't care what the private business owner want, right?
Yeah, if the private business comes out and say, "Hey, listen,"
you don't care what the private business want, right?
No, I care.
And then why would you impose on them without their permission?
Because that's the only way we have to stop this.
Joe, you're not listening to yourself.
No, I. What do you mean? I don't think you're listening to yourself. I love you, Jesse. Don't get me wrong, man. You brought me to another level,
right? But
in life, which I totally get. However, I'm talking about, this war we're in isn't with guns and
Joe, but you're missing the point. Let me try one more time, then I have to run. The government does not have a right, constitutional right, to make us wear masks, right?
Correct.
Okay. Joe does not have a constitutional right to force their way into a business and wear a mask and not wear a mask if the business don't want you to, if they prefer you to wear one, right?
Yeah, I do. I have the right to do that.
How do you have the right to do it? It's a private business.
What do you mean? I'm standing up for, like I said, for number one question.
They didn't ask you to stand up for him.
Number one question. Would Jesus wear a mask?
This ain't Jesus.
He would trust his Father. I trust my Father.
Amazing.
When they started this mask and this whole baloney.
Joe, you missing the point, though. I'm not. The government is wrong.
It's not about a disease. There ain't
the
no
government
disease.
is wrong, Joe.
Yeah, we all know
that. But you,
that.
likewise, you're wrong for imposing going into a store without a mask if they're telling you not, if the business wants you to wear one.
Whatever time I got left on this planet, I'm not going to live it on my knees, wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart from love.
Joe, you're missing the point, though.
No, I'm not. I'm completely with you, bro. Completely. I get it. However, that's what we have to stand up for.
Would you go into someone's home wearing shoes if they didn't want you to?
No, of course not.
But why not the same respect for a private business?
I will. I'm going to assume that he knows the truth, that there is no thing, that this is all baloney. And when enough men like
Joe,
me actually go into a store,
Joe, you're right that it is not a gun battle, it's a spiritual battle. But if you were on the right side of good, you wouldn't impose yourself on a private business.
Bro, what do you mean? Like, I
How
don't
come
want to
Joe don't see what I'm saying?
on a Vietnamese either.
You're missing it, Joe.
Joe.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, Joe. Smoke on it, Joe. He was missing it, huh? Yeah. My thing is, we don't know what the private business wants if he's not saying anything. But if you walk into his store and he said, no, you got to wear a mask if you want my product, either you have a choice. I don't want to wear a mask, so I'll leave. Or, okay, I want the product, so I'll stay with the mask.
That's like saying if Joe has his own home and he doesn't want a murderer in there for whatever reason, but the murderer can be like, I'm coming in.
I'm coming anyway. Black Lives Matter. I'm going to take your house anyway.
You're just missing that part of it.
Yeah. Amazing. All in the name of Jesus. And because I wear a mask inside a business if they tell me I need to put one on, unless I don't care about the product. I can leave. And it reminded me of the civil rights movement, which was civil wrong because no such thing as civil rights, is that the blacks took the joke too far in the little rally thing they were having, riots or whatever they were doing. And they started to impose upon private businesses in the South. They went into restaurants and cafes and made the white people, y'all gonna serve me. White people like, no, we don't want to. You have to. You're racist. And they were wrong for imposing. And I remember thinking that as a kid, these black people don't have no right to make private businesses serve them. And plus, how do you know they don't spit in your food or take a dump in your food? And you're up there eating it and drinking it because you made them serve you. Now, government business, because you pay taxes, I understand it. But private businesses, that's a no-no. That is a no-no. Who is this on for, Chris? Nary. Nary is a first-time caller out of Virginia. Nary, welcome to the Hake Report. Thank you for calling, and thanks for holding.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Nary.
I just want to start telling you that, I started listening to you like a month ago, and you realize like everything you've been saying, like it's been changing me. Like I can feel it, and it's crazy. I can see it too. Like I can see it in my environment. Like I was in a deep violent state, and like I just want to say I appreciate, what you do. Like that's we need a lot more people like that.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you're waking up because it's God who is causing you to wake up. And because of that, a lot more people like you will be out there. We're bringing on love and not hate.
Right.
That's amazing, man. How old are you, Nary?
I'm 26.
Right on. You're blessed, man. You're waking up at a young age.
Yeah, but I grew up in a Christian home, and I felt like I don't know how you feel about religious indoctrination on young kids, but I grew up in a Christian home, and I felt like they would try to shove it down my throat.
Yep.
And even as a young kid, I didn't like going to church. I never liked going. I just didn't like going.
Yeah.
And I came to an age I was 16 when I started driving. I stopped going, and to be honest, from that moment on, I did start going downhill. I took the wrong path, but recently, I just started coming back. I don't feel no love. I didn't feel no love towards anything.
Yep.
It was just, I don't know.
Well,
What do you think about religious indoctrination?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. One of the horrible things that most mothers are doing to the children is the moment they pop out of the womb, they take them to church. Most of the time, it's the mother who are doing that, and sometimes the weak father would encourage that, but most of the time, it's the mother. And they make kids think they need to be saved at 3, they need to be saved at 6, and it really brainwash you. And so those that hang in there, they grow up learning the Bible, but they never really return to the Father. And so it's horrible, man. You're supposed to come to God when you see it's time to come to Him, not with this stuff that they impose on you as kids. Most kids rebel against that.
Yeah, and like you said, when you turn 18, you should leave your home.
Yes.
And I did, but I felt like my mind never left my mom's house. My mind stayed. Yeah, and
that's an amazing way to put it, man. You're absolutely right.
And in my mind, everything. When I was on my own for 6 years, and everything was just chaos.
Yeah.
And I just fell hard. I hit the floor hard, and I came back home because I didn't know what else to do. And my folks, they opened the doors, and it was you can stay here till you get yourself together. But I don't know. And then since a month ago, I started listening to you. I've been here for a year already, and I feel like nothing has changed. But then ever since I started listening to what you've been saying, I feel like everything's been changing just in a month. I've already forgiven my folks, and I don't know. I feel free. I feel a whole lot better than what I came in here.
Amazing, man. God is with you, Nary, and He's waking you up. And one thing will lead to another and another one. And when you get your own place again, go out and live, it's going to be amazing, man. You can never, because once you're born of the Spirit of the Father, you can never be unborn. So you'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I feel like I've wasted a lot of time.
Well, you haven't wasted any. You're 26 years old. I didn't wake up until I was 38. So you're early.
Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I feel like, isn't that a sort of meditation or something?
No, you don't want to meditate. You just want to observe. And so, the fact that you haven't done the silent prayer at all?
No.
You blessed, man. God is with you. He's waking you up already. But learn to just sit still, but don't observe on anything. I mean, don't hold on to anything. You are the seeker. You observe. God is the creator, right? And so when you're still, He's just going to cause you. He's changing your life from your mama thoughts to His thoughts, which should have been of your father. and it's going to be amazing for you. Just learn to sit still. Are you working?
No.
Oh, you get your job and get out of there.
Yeah.
Give the silent prayer video. Do it for a minute or two and let me know what you think.
All right. I'll call you again.
But God is already with you, man. That's why you can see where I'm coming from. So you're on the way.
Yeah, I feel a lot. Like, I feel the change, you know, so.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you go to your mother and forgive her?
Yeah, I mean, I forgave them both, like, at the same time. Like, they were both standing in front of me. And
oh, good.
Like,
what was their response?
Nothing. They didn't say nothing. They just gave me a hug. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing fine, man. You're on the way. God is with you. You have not seen anything. It gets better.
You're right. I hope so.
It will. Anything else?
I mean, no. That's all I really had to say.
Yeah, go get your job, save your money, 10% at least, go find yourself a place, and you haven't seen anything, but it gets better, all right?
All right. Thank you.
Let me hear from you again.
All right, bye.
Bye now. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Super Chats.
Super Chat.
Super Chat.
Oh, I'm not seeing. I'm not receiving.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to them. Okay, get them ready. I'll come back. Let me know. Let me go to. Gene from Ontario, Canada. Gene, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. How are you doing?
All is well. How are you?
I'm doing well. All is well. So I kind of want to answer your biblical question.
Where did the idea come from that a preacher should teach from a Bible in church? Where did that come from?
Well, I think the people saw the importance of the Bible. Not to say that it is important or not, but I feel like some people noticed that, not to say feel, but I think people noticed that the people as a whole were taking the Bible extremely seriously, and they were almost giving their whole faith to a book. And in like this whole idea of propaganda being thrown to us in the Western world, we were almost made to just use the Bible as an anchor instead of actually using God for the anchor. He is the anchor, not the Bible.
And
but
so
I feel like we're...
And so it came from where?
It came from where? It came from the Marxists. I'm kidding. But I feel like it almost came from people who were just wanting to take God away from from our country, from our land, and take away the Judeo-Christian base that we have by making people look at the Bible as something that needs to be an anchor for each life of the Christian. But it's not the case. Like you said, the Bible is a guide, is a way back to the Father, a way to go within and find yourself.
Are you a Christian, G?
Yes, I am.
Right
yes.
on. Well, I appreciate you responding to the biblical question. I put my 2 cents in on Sunday. All right, I want to hear from more people about it. Thank you, G. We have a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv coming up tomorrow. The FallenState.tv. I interviewed Pastor Gino Jennings of First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ in out of Philadelphia. Here is that teaser.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Do you still sin?
Oh, yes. I'm a musician. And I know it's wrong to love jazz music. Our heart need to be saved or delivered from the poison of our emotions. God don't move. He's not going to bargain with us. He's not going to come down to our level.
You had a poster of a white Jesus, and you slapped the white Jesus.
Many of the Europeans have used the Bible to empower themselves to hold in front of people of color, making them believe that it is the will of God that you bow to anything that is white. The internal hatred that many of the Republicans had towards people of color, Donald Trump just voiced it. I played piano for over 45 years.
It was amazing discussion. You want to check it out tomorrow. Brand new episode. Have Nick get the phone for me. Brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. All right. Does James advertise anything or promote anything on this show? We don't know. Okay. Hake is out. He'll be back tomorrow. I think he has a beta back problem again. Connor is out of Atlanta, Georgia. Connor, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Hey, how's it going, Jesse?
All is well, sir. Thank you for calling.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask about this dream that my 9-year-old sister had, and I guess you can call it a religious dream or something like that, but let me detail it for you. So apparently it's like her and a bunch of other kids, like around her age. She's a 9, fixing to be 10. It's like her and a bunch of other kids.
When will she be 10?
In May.
Oh, why do people, when you ask someone their age and they would say, I'm 9 or I'm 30, going to be 40 in July, why do people always look to the future rather than just dealing with how old they are today?
I'm not sure. I guess it's.
I notice even when I do counseling, I ask, "How old are you?" And the people go, "Well, I'm 28. You're going to be 29. When will you be 29? In July." But have Nick get the phones for me. But they're 28 today, and people tend not to live today. They're always thinking about tomorrow. It's interesting. That's why I asked. But go ahead.
Okay. I just say it out of force of habit. But like whenever someone asks me my age, but anyways.
When someone asks your age, do you say, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Do you say I'm 19? I'll be 20 next year?
No. I say I'm 19. my birthday's in June, so I.
Do you ever say I'm 19? I'll be 20 in June?
Well, I'll start saying that when I get closer to June. I usually just say 19 though.
All right.
But yeah, that's a good point. People do that a lot. But,
a lot, man. It's crazy.
A lot, yeah. But anyways, so her and a bunch of other kids her age were up against, in the stream, they were up against this wall, and it's like, the details are a little foggy because my mom, who told me, doesn't really even remember that well. But she apparently they were falling over something like a cliff or something like that, and my sister said that she had, like, after they fell over the cliff, all the kids, like, they were falling down. I'm assuming she landed somewhere, and there was a man who I'm assuming that she thought was God. There was a man who said, "Tell them I'm coming." And she saw, my sister's name is Chloe. Chloe said that she saw the number 28 a lot. And I know that the number 28 has at least some significance in the Bible. But I was just curious, like, what exactly that means, because I don't know. Because I remember there was a long time ago, this lady called you on your show and said how she had this dream where God came to her, but you claimed it to be Satan. And I was just curious. I just kind of wanted your thoughts on that, because I've never heard of a 9-year-old girl, having a dream like that, or, like, is that Satan, or does that have any real meaning or significance, or is that just a dream? Like, shouldn't take it too seriously?
I don't know, Joe. Connor, I wouldn't take it that serious, because it's not really, the way you're telling me, it's not even clear. And she could have overreacted to a situation. or heard something that the Christians were saying and overreacted to that. It's hard to know. If it's not clear, I wouldn't try to figure it out at all. Because if you do, Satan will give you the wrong answer to it. When God deals with us, it is made clear. We wouldn't have to try to figure it out. We wouldn't have to ask anyone what does it mean, because it would be clear. He's clear in all things. He wouldn't have you confused about anything.
Okay.
So if it's not clear, I wouldn't try to figure it out, because it would just be making up stuff, and no one knows the mindset of God unless He allow you to see it.
Okay. I see.
So it could have been anything. It could have been real. Could have been overreacting. She could have heard Christians saying stuff like that and picked it up, or it could be anything. So it's best to leave it as I don't know.
Okay. Can I ask you another question?
Yes.
I didn't tell Chris I had two questions, but this question is always on my mind.
Okay.
Because a lot of the time, I try to stay up to date with politics as much as possible, and I try to pay attention to like science and things that are I guess this current. But it's like because obviously, I'm sure you're aware of the theory of evolution, where it's the idea that humans, that there really isn't a creator, like there is no God, like, that's all fake. It's believed that the universe and Earth was just kind of created in a blip, and it's been millions and millions of years that is taken for humans and just civilization to evolve. Because obviously, like, the evidence that people use is like, they say dinosaurs, they say things like that. Just a lot of people believe that we came from monkeys and, and primates and all that other stuff. Because I don't know how, because I've never heard a Christian or anybody of the faith come and dismantle that. And I'm not saying that in the sense that, then Christianity's fake or there is no God. I'm not saying that, but I've never seen a Christian or anybody of the faith actually come and dismantle that or defend it, because, it's been on my mind for a while, because if God does exist, then I don't know why there would be things like that people find and want to use against the idea of creationism and, coming from God and things like that. So that's just always been on my mind. I just was curious if you had an answer to that.
And so your question is what?
Is evolution real? Do you think it's real, or is it just fake? Or because I'm just kind of curious on your take on that.
You've been in the world for 19 years, right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen an ape turn into a man?
No, I haven't. No.
And the people who are claiming evolution never seen it either.
Right.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe we came from an ape, or you believe that we were created by God?
Well, I believe that we were created by God. I've never. When I was younger, like that, they teach that in school. They teach you, K through 5 and middle school and high school. They teach you about evolution.
That's why you shouldn't go to. That's why parents should not send their children to these schools.
Okay, yeah. Well,
because the schools are anti-God. They're anti-Christian, and they would, as you can see, brainwash the children, turn them away from the parents, turn them away from God, turn them away from the Father. Now they're turning away white people from whiteness.
Right. No, I know that. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wouldn't put anything into that. Those are all lies. We were created by God. We did not come from monkeys. And otherwise, you would have seen it within the 19 years.
Right. Well, it's just that those people who say that, it took millions of years. Like they say that it like for for there to be, because it's the idea that we not necessarily came from monkeys, but primates, which is just a much monkeyer version.
It's a better monkey.
It's apparently like I guess a more hairier human. They look more monkey-ish, like they look like monkeys, but they have human stature, they have human features, but yeah, I mean, because it's just been hard for me to truly figure that out.
Believe me, Carter, if we came from apes, you would have seen it by now. I've been around 71 years. I've never seen a human come from an ape, and I've never seen a human turn into an ape. I wouldn't fall for it. It's all lies, man. It's just things to keep you away from believing in the Father.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even up for argument, to be honest.
I'll try to not pay as much attention. It's just been on my mind.
I understand because you were taught that in the school. What did your father say about that when you asked him about it?
I've actually never talked to my father about that.
Why not?
Because I just never talked to my dad about it. I never talked to him about like evolution or
why
creation.
Not? Why not?
I had no reason to. Had no reason to mention it.
But you were taught that as a kid, and you just asked me about it. I would think you would have gone to him first.
Well, I've kind of always known my dad's beliefs. Like he's a Christian. He believes in God. I never attempted to. I mean, I've never asked my mom about it either.
Why not?
I never really attempted to ask about that because I just thought it was true. Like for the years.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
It's not true. It's not true at all. It's the same thing with this climate change and all that. It's all lies because these people hate God. They hate good. And they don't want you to believe in it. So they're coming up with all this other stuff, which is from their father, the devil. I wouldn't give it any credence.
Okay. I understand. Well,
so you're 19 years old. Why are you still at home?
No, I actually recently moved out.
Good, man. You got your own place?
Yes, sir. I'm renting. I don't own it, but yeah, I've been renting, and yeah.
What made you decide to move out?
It really, it's like it took me a long time to really believe all the things you were saying. Like it took me a hell of a long time because when you grow up, you're taught to believe certain things.
Yeah.
And it's like the red pill and blue pill. Most people live in the blue pill state, and they think that the woman is great, and they think that the mom is God, and they start to treat mom like God, and then they end up getting hell for it.
Yeah.
Because because the mother is, unless that mother is of God, that mother is evil for the children.
Yes.
They're not good for the children, especially weak beta male fathers.
Yeah.
They don't want to say anything because they're scared of the woman. The woman, oh, you divorce, you're going to divorce me. You're gonna, it's like the world really is living in like a female-minded, especially in Western culture, in America.
Yes.
It's a female-minded world, and that's why a lot of people think that in the next 20, 25 years, it's going to be nothing but women in the White House and nothing but women in the government. Because
we better pray that doesn't happen. We got to get involved before that happens.
Yeah, man. No, I mean it's. I'm certainly not hoping that happens, but I realized how bad things were with how it's just. I don't want to go into detail, but like just things that my mom would say to me and just how because even when you're 18 or when you legally turn adult, the mom still thinks she has control over you.
Yes.
And they still want you to be under their wing, but that scares a mom when a man, especially a man, their son, when they're 18, they start to actually become an individual, become independent, and start thinking for themselves. Because I've gotten into plenty of arguments with my mom about Trump, and because she thinks Biden is a good president and like all this other stuff, and I've been very adamant about how I don't think there would be any improvements with Biden, and how Biden is a beta male.
Beta. Connor, you're 19 years old?
Yes, sir.
Amazing, man. You're an alpha male, not a beta male. And I got to run, but I got to ask this first. What did your mother say when you told her you were moving away?
She was upset. I mean, you know, honestly, Jesse, she goes back and forth. She goes back and forth. She acts like, you know, it's okay, and she tells me, well, okay, go on and be independent, you know, in like a sassy, you know, snarky way.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, you know, does everything she can to keep me here.
Wow.
You know, it's like, so, you know, it's like guys out there, especially young guys, don't be betas. Don't listen to mama. Just
That's right.
When you turn 18, move out.
Did your father help you deal with her?
No.
Why not?
No, because he's. I don't want to say this about my dad, but he's beta. He's a beta male.
Yeah.
He doesn't. You know, it really is when mama takes over the mind, it's all hell. It's all hell when mama takes over the mind.
Your father and mother still together?
Yes.
And so when you asked your father why did he protect you from her, what did he say?
I actually never asked my father that.
Why not?
Never, because it's hard to admittedly it's hard to talk to him about that stuff because he doesn't respond. When you try to have, I guess, deep, like I'll put quotes on that, and, you know, like you want to try to have like deep conversations with my dad, he doesn't really reciprocate. He doesn't really. It's hard for him to respond. Have like a decent conversation with him about it.
I totally understand it, man. Well, I'm glad that you can now see you return to the Father. You're on your own. Call me again, man. Amazing. You're really, really mature for 19, Connor.
Thank you. I get that a lot, honestly. And I've called you before, Jesse. I just don't think you remember. I told you how I'm biracial. I'm black and white.
You black and white? No, I don't. Never ask a black man if he remembers.
I'm mixed. You mixed. But, I get a lot of shit for quote unquote being mature. Because the black people, they hate seeing me talk proper.
Yes.
Because they get all angry and mean, and they think that I'm bougie. They think that I think I'm better than them.
Well, what it is, most black people are angry, so they're jealous of anyone. They're jealous of anyone who succeeds in life. And so with the blacks who are doing well, they call them Uncle Tom, sellout, and all kind of stuff. And with white people, they call them superior. With the Asian and other, they call them names. And instead of learning, they are jealous, and so they try to hold you down.
Yeah. I've known this for, I learned this early on. I learned this back in middle school.
Right.
And I don't like to walk around acting like, oh, look at me, I'm smarter than all these black people or anything like that. I don't like doing that.
Right.
But I've noticed.
Come back to your phone.
You can hear me?
Yeah. So your mother is white?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And the father is black. Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Well, Connor, you made my day. Keep it up, buddy.
Thank you, sir. And listen, hey, you got to run for president in a few years.
I will. I'll smoke on it.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't run, Joel will. Call me again, Connor. God bless you, man.
All right, God bless you too, buddy.
Okay. Amazing. 19 years old. Wake up, folks. I'm telling you. Return to the Father. You cannot go wrong. You're born. All those who are born of the flesh are dying. Those who are born of the Father are living. We have once to die and once to live. It's up to you. Either die in darkness or live in the light. Walk by the light, be of the light, and you cannot go wrong. It's amazing. God, the light will change your whole being. I got to go out and find out something because I can't. Nobody's letting me know yet. Oh, okay. It's amazing. Walk in the light. Be of the light. Only if you want a perfect life. If you're okay with the way you're living it, the way you're doing it, it's up to you. Randy is a first-time caller out of Amarillo, Texas. Let's see here. Randy, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Hi. Hello, Jesse.
Hey, Randy, how you?
I'm pretty good. I talked to you the other day, actually. I called you and kind of talked to you offline for a while, and I just wanted to thank you for that, and I might try to do that again sometime.
You're welcome,
I've got
man.
a little more time with you.
Right on.
But I called mainly just on the biblical question.
Where did the idea come from that a preacher should teach from a Bible in a church?
Well, from what I've read and studied some, I think that actually came from the original Jewish tradition and religion, of course, that they taught from the old law, and even in the synagogues in Jesus' time, they would actually read from the Old Testament scriptures, and that was kind of a part of their general assembly and ceremony, and then that was kind of passed on to the early churches by the apostles. I remember somewhere, I think it might have been in one of the epistles, where Paul said for the letter that he had written to them to be read aloud in the church, and that the letter that he had written to another church be also read and aloud. So I think that it just became a kind of a common part of the ceremony of their gathering, and that's kind of what I gather from how that was passed down. Now, the way it's done nowadays, I don't know that it's necessarily the same way, but I think that's where it originated. And by the way, I listened to the Bond service last night that was online, and that was real good. And I thought that it was interesting that you actually were reading from the scriptures, but you were doing it, and I think that service was back from like 2012, and you were actually doing it in the way I think that's really proper. You read a couple of the scriptures that after you related a personal experience about born again, and how that actually relieved your anger and everything passed away, and that you just read after that, after you'd shared that, some scriptures that kind of just supported that. So I think that's generally the best and proper way to read from the scriptures.
Amazing.
So that's kind of all I wanted to say.
Well, I appreciate that, Randy. And I'll have my little 2 cents in on Sunday. But I want to hear from some others about this. I really appreciate that, Randy. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. Amazing. I like the fact that these biblical questions are causing you to think for yourself, to look within. Because I have to tell you, I never thought I'd see the day when so many people rely on someone else to teach them, to think for them, to all that. I mean, and you see what can happen to you because you see what's happening to the blacks. Most blacks, not all, but most do not think for themselves. They've lost that know-how. They've lost that knowing how to think for themselves. And so I'm glad that you're smoking on it, because you got to return to God within. Really. Let no man guide you. Let no man teach you. I only point the way back to the teacher within, God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit. It's all within you. It's all within you. And no one so far has been able to really tell me where that came from. But I got clues now from the people who have been responding to it. And for that, I am grateful. Let me go to Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Rick, welcome to the HakeReport.com. You're on the air.
What's up, Jesse, man? Good
Rick.
morning to my brother, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, turn your radio down or something.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Hey, I want the full interview what you had with Gino Jennings. What do you think about Gino Jennings?
It was an amazing discussion, and tomorrow the full episode will be shown at 12 noon Pacific time.
Now, could I get it on YouTube, too, in case I missed it?
Yes. You can podcast it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can podcast it. And we're on most podcast sites now. So you will be able to podcast it once it airs tomorrow. You have to go to the fartherstate.tv YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, good, yeah.
Yeah,
Gino Jennings is probably one of the fewest pastors that I respect. Now, sometimes he can get into his blackness too, but for the most part, he tries to preach the gospel.
Oh, okay.
Out of all the preachers that I've seen, to me, yeah, he the one too. You might was tell you one time.
You might enjoy that interview with him then.
Yeah, I want to see that interview, because he's, like I said, besides Tony Evans and
You about to say one time he did what now?
Yeah, one time, they struggle, but you know how people remarry and stuff, and he married their second wife. Oh man, they big time. They don't even let you be in leadership.
Come back to your phone.
Oh, can you hear me now, Jesse?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, and they don't how people get married, remarry and stuff. Man, they don't believe in that, bro.
Who's that?
At all. Gino Jennings church.
Oh, okay. It was interesting to talk to him about beating up the picture of white Jesus. Did you know he did that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What did you think about that? You saw that before. What did you think about it?
Yeah. Well, I do believe back in the day that Europeans tried to take out blacks that were sort of take out the blacks that were in the Bible. However,
why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that?
Yes.
Well, like a lot of when I talk to people that think black people, because you remember when Noah, who was that? Noah cursed on Ham, and that's where the black race is supposed to come from Ham, and since Noah cursed Ham, that's how most whites think blacks are cursed. They're supposed to be slaves.
And you believe that?
I don't believe that at all. But that's what a lot of Europeans
you just said that you believe. Oh, that's what the white people taught?
Yes.
So the white people taught that Ham was black?
Yep, Ham. Well, because Noah had 3 sons.
Oh, was Noah black too?
Was Noah black? I believe people back in the biblical days, I don't have solid evidence.
Well, they said that Noah was black.
Yep.
And so they said Noah was black.
Mm-hmm.
And Noah had a black son?
Yep, well, he had 3 sons.
Were they all black?
3 sons, and you know what? I am not sure, just don't get me to start lying. But here's what I read. But the world was populated from Noah's 3 sons, Jephthah, Ham, and Shem.
But were they all black?
Were they all black? Don't get me to start lying, man. That's why I don't get into the color thing, man, because I don't know, man.
But if Noah was black and he had 3 black sons, wouldn't they have to be black?
It makes sense, yeah. But what I read from different civilization in Africa, matter of fact, Tony Evans got a real good book on it.
But wouldn't they have to be Rick, stay with me. You believe that Noah was black?
I believe he was more of a Arab type color. I don't believe people in the biblical days were white. I don't believe they were that black man with the red eyes in Africa. I don't believe he was that color either. I believe most people back in those days were Arab.
So you believe Noah was Arab?
Yep.
And Noah had 3 Arab sons.
No, not to the Arab. That says that they were Arab complexion. That's what I believe.
And so you believe
really
that
know.
he had 3 Arab complexion sons.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I believe.
Well, stay with me, Rick. I'm going somewhere with this. Stay with me.
Right. Okay.
And so you believe that the white people tried to take Noah out of the Bible?
Not Noah. Well, it has two. So the sort of, I guess how I want to put it, Jesse. The say that blacks didn't have a part in biblical history. More like that. You know what I'm saying?
When did white people say that?
They didn't say that, but like most like your people, like some of your Europeans may say that I have read. I have never heard one say that directly to me, but there's some stuff I have read,
So you heard white people say what about the blacks in the Bible?
That they were cursed.
That all the blacks were cursed?
Yep.
I've never heard a white person say that, but when I moved to Los Angeles, I heard black preachers saying that. But I never heard a white person say it.
Now, that's where I must hear it from, too, like black preachers say that.
But why you say you heard it from the whites then?
I heard it on a talk show one time. I think it was a Jerry Springer show. And that's what I
Jerry
heard it from.
Springer?
Yeah,
So, Rick, you have never heard white people say that black people were cursed in the Bible, right?
Not directly.
So then why you believe these preachers who are saying that white people want to take the blacks out of the Bible?
Why I believe that? Jess, I really don't have a reason. It's just a lot of stuff that I have heard. So that's the best answer I can give you.
And that's your most honest one. And you never question, is that true or not?
I have tried to research that myself. And like I said, see, when it comes to the scripture.
And did you find any proof that was true?
No. And that's why.
And so why do you still believe it?
Why I believe it? I guess because of the region, the Middle East.
What?
That's why.
No, why do you still believe? Why do you still believe that white people tried to take black people out of the Bible when you researched and you found no proof of that, no evidence? Why do you still believe? And I'm just asking, you're not on the hot seat or anything, but why do you still believe it when you couldn't find any evidence of that?
Well, you know what, Jesse? I have no answer for that. I was just going by the region where the Bible was there because it was hot in that region.
No, I'm not talking about the region. I'm talking about, you said that the black people said that white people were trying to take the blacks out of the Bible, and you believed it, and you did research on it, and you couldn't find any proof of it at all, but you still believed it. And the point is that that's how most black people are. They don't think for themselves. They just believe whatever they've been told, and they don't look to see if it's true. But it sounds like you did look, but yet you believed a lie. And so you just made that good point of that, and that's why I asked you about it.
Right. No, and like I said, Jesse, I used to sort of learn to get educated myself.
Yeah.
And
and blacks don't do that anymore. They just fall for the okie doke. But Ray, I gotta run. I appreciate it. Y'all gotta start thinking for yourself, folks. Don't believe it because the preacher said it. Don't believe it because the teacher said it. Don't believe it because the phony expert with the degree said it. You gotta let it go in one ear and out the other. It's okay to question things. Don't ever let anyone tell you you shouldn't question. Is that true or not? And then go find out for yourself. Look how the world is going to hell in a handbasket today. In Africa, Africa, Jesus coming. I hear it. Angels in Africa. Africa. Can we see that? Angel, coming, Africa, coming. I can see it.
The Lord
Coming,
says it
Africa.
is done. The
It
Lord
is
says
done.
it is done. Angels
is
are being
done.
released right now. Angels are being
Angels.
dispatched right now. From Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now.
How would you like to be living with that one? Anyway, I got to tell you this. And my point, thank you, Ray. My point is you got to know that you know, folks. Really. No one is smarter than you. But when you turn your life over to someone else, they will take advantage of you. Because they know that you're a dummy for letting them become your leaders. Believe me, Jesse Jackson and the so-called civil rights movement and Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, the Wicked Witch of the West with the low IQ Maxine Waters, the liberal whites, the government, the women, they know that you're stupid for letting them take control of your life. That's why they can do anything to you and nothing can be done. You letting people with no sense at all take control of your life. I learned something about Martha Stewart this morning from my producer, Nick, that I did not know before. This is from the Daily Mail. Celebrity homemaker Martha Stewart has admitted she has complicated feelings. She has complicated feelings about the Me Too movement. Martha has complicated feelings about the Me Too movement. She explains she knows many of the accused very well. Martha, the homemaker, the woman that knows how to bake and plant flowers, says that she has complicated feelings about the Me Too movement. She explains she knows many of the accused. She knows many of the guys that were accused. And she knows them very well. Isn't that something? She knows many of the accused very well, that many of the accused simply had harassed personalities. Harsh personalities. They have harsh personalities. They would just talk about sex at dinner. They weren't doing it. They would just talk about it. And that's what men do, by the way, especially in that fallen state. They would just talk about it at dinner. She describes her experience in Hollywood and how every man was trying to get you. It was just a common thing. In Hollywood, she described how every man tried to get the woman. It's just a common thing. And that's how it is in the world. It's like that in schools. It's like that everywhere. Guys hit on women. Those who are not sluts say no, and those who are sluts say yes. And the men who are not slut makers don't do it, and the men who are slut makers do it. But these angry women who hate men want to turn it into something else. After being a slut, they want to accuse you. That's why I don't pay any attention to that. There's two sides to every story. Always know that. Never, ever, ever, never, 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 ever, 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 but never believe one side of a story. That's why they're telling you one side, they want you to believe the lie. It's amazing. And women don't tell the truth about men. It's just the way it is. They hate men. Have Nick get the phone for me. Women are not going to tell the truth about the men. They're not going to tell you, you know what, I drove that man crazy. He tried to please me. I was his God. And I would never let him please me. And the more I rejected it, the worse he got. And I loved it because I loved the control I had over him. He became an alcoholic as a result of it, trying to please his female God. They ain't going to tell you that. They ain't going to play innocent. Oh, he was an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic. They're going to tell you I drove him to drink because you can't please the fake God. Michael is a first-time caller out of Detroit. Michael, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
All is well.
Watching you for years.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
So I just wanted to maybe answer your biblical question, if I could.
Where did the idea come from that a preacher should teach from a Bible in a church?
I believe it was from Moses when he got the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai from God.
Oh, so Moses taught the Bible from the church?
No.
What's the Ten Commandments?
Mount Sinai. Yes. So God handed down some commandments because he's seen all the disorder going on, and nobody could really explain how to live properly.
Oh.
I believe that it is written on our heart, but I think from sin and from the fall, from being overwhelmed by the woman, I believe that it got real confusing. So God spoke to Moses to say, hey, these are my commandments. Go down there and tell everybody, these are my commandments. Hold these and seek truth. So I think that's where it comes from.
So did Moses turn the Ten Commandments into a Bible?
Well, it was on a tablet.
So did he make copies of the tablet and turn it and gave people copies?
Well, I think originally it was hundreds and hundreds of commandments, but he narrowed it down to 10, I believe.
Oh.
Just for simplification. And I think that he did write them down and told them to pass that teaching on to other people. And I think that's where it comes from.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I believe that that's maybe where we started getting that from, that idea that people need to be told of these laws and these truths so that they can start working on developing them at an early age.
But as far as you know, Moses didn't turn the Ten Commandments into a Bible.
No,
okay.
He did not.
All right. Michael, I appreciate that, man. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday.
I can't wait to hear.
Well, I appreciate it, buddy. God bless you. All right, thank you.
You too, Jesse. Thank you for letting me speak.
Right on. Anytime. Call me again.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, now. Anthony is out of Brooklyn, New York. Anthony, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Anthony.
Jesse, how are you?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I called you a few other times before, but what was I going to say? I called to speak about, the whole the false race war and the civil wrong movement that's going on. But I just wanted, before that, I just want to mention how, I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. Everybody keeps speaking about the Bible verse of the week, and I just want to bring that up first.
Where did the idea come from? Where did the idea come from that a preacher should teach from a Bible in a church? Where did that idea come from?
First of all, Jesus Christ is the walking, talking Ten Commandments. So everything is from him. You cannot follow man. If you follow man, you will go to hell. But if you follow God, you will be saved. Which means nothing. It doesn't matter what Moses did. What matters is what Christ did. And I don't think Christ mentioned anything about bringing a Bible to a church.
So where did that idea come from?
If it didn't come from God, that means it came from Satan. That's what I think.
So the idea of teaching the Bible, a preacher should teach from a Bible in the church is from Satan?
If it's not from God, I don't know where it's from, but I think if it's not from God, then it has to be from Satan because there's no in between.
And so, but you don't know how it began, other than you believe it's from Satan. You don't know how that began. You don't know the beginning of that, right?
Yes, if it didn't come from Jesus Christ, if he didn't clearly speak the word and make it clear for us about the Bible, because he is the walking, talking, the Bible, the walking, talking 10 Commandments. He is love on earth. So if it didn't come from him, then people are just making it up from Satan.
That is amazing. I appreciate that, Anthony. Thank you. It's interesting. This is an amazing question. It really is. And I really, really appreciate the feedback I'm getting about it. I never, what got me to thinking about this is that, my enemies call me up. Well, they don't call me, but they say, Jesse, never have a Bible. Sometimes I do bring the Bible when I want something interesting and I want I want it to be read out. But they said, Jesse, never have the Bible. You're supposed to have the Bible at church. You never have the Bible. And so I wonder out loud, how did that idea come about? When and where did this idea that the preacher must teach the Bible from in the church? He had to have a Bible. And I've been getting very interesting feedback. Thank you, Anthony. I do appreciate it. Steve is a first-time caller out of Illinois. Steve, welcome to the HakeReport.com. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse? Thanks for having me.
All is well, Steve. Thank you for calling. Go ahead.
So my question is, do you believe that God is an all-knowing God?
No, I know that he is.
Okay, so my question would then be, if he's an all-knowing God, why would he let, in the story of the Garden of Eden, what happened to Adam and Eve, why would he allow that to take place?
Because
if he go ahead.
No, if he knew what?
I was going to say, why would he let it all happen if he knew what the repercussions going to be, being that he had to send his only begotten son, to bring men back to God? I'm just trying to ask,
right?
If he knew all that would happen, then why did he allow it?
Because he wanted you to love him by choice and not by force.
So are you saying that we was forced by the serpent that deceived Eve, or this just the choice she made?
No, Eve was deceived by the serpent, and Adam was deceived by Eve, the woman. That's why every time the man listens to the woman, now he suffers. A man should never listen to a woman.
Okay, so you're saying the reason that God allowed it to happen so we can love him by choice and not force.
Yeah, he didn't want to make Adam and Eve love him. He wanted them to do it by choice and not force.
Right, that's understood, but the fact still remains that he still knew that that's the decision that Eve would make.
Yes.
So he knew that it would create the fall of man. So, I mean, I'm just asking, why still would he let it happen? Because even if he wanted to let us have free will and not
I got you.
Us,
yeah.
Then why would he still just allow that to happen? Because he already knew this. Like you're saying, he's an all-knowing God.
Right, because he wanted to create human beings through the woman rather than from the dust of the earth.
So you're saying the human beings was created by the woman instead of what the Bible says that
it was created through the woman. God created human beings, but he allowed the fall to happen so that they can come through the woman rather than, Adam was created from the dust, right? By his hands. And so he wanted to do it through the woman rather than having to do it with his hands. And so he allowed that to happen so he can...
So we can be created by the woman?
Created through the woman, not by her.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, well, through the woman.
Yes.
So what's the point of that?
Because if the
woman is evil, like you said,
if you are one with the Father, you have perfect peace, and we have perfect peace. You have no needs for anything. But in that fallen state, you have a need to return to the Father because the woman's love is not real. She has no love, and that doesn't satisfy you. But in that fallen state, you fall to your lower nature, and so in that lower nature, you reproduce. You make babies, right? But in the higher nature, which is of God, you don't make any babies because you like nothing is missing.
So you're saying that's the reason only women create babies instead of men?
Women don't create babies; they come through them.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying that's the reason you're saying that because you're in a higher state when you're a man instead of a woman.
Well, they both in that fallen state when they are making babies, right? But once they get married, make all the babies that they want, then the man will stop having sex and return to the father. And then he'll bring his woman out of the hell she's in.
I thought the Bible said to be fruitful and replenish the earth.
Right, and that's how it happened in that fallen state.
So you're saying that was wrong to be replenishing the earth or procreating?
It was the right thing to do, but it should be done under the umbrella of marriage so that God can protect you from evil.
Oh, okay, I got it. All right, well,
Have Nick get the phone for me out there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand your answer. I still think it just sounds kind of crazy to me, when I read the Bible that, like I say, God would let that happen. Because to me, it just sounds like, it's kind of like setting us up. It just seemed like it wouldn't be something that a loving God would do, but... Did
you listen to anything I said, or you just wanted to hear what I said, but you already have your own answers?
No, I want to hear your explanation about it, but I'm saying, like I said, when I look at it, the fact still remains. It just seemed like, we're being set up instead of, if God knows everything, he knew what would happen. He knew all the things we would go through to try to make it back to him. It's like, why would he put the tree in the Garden of Eden that we couldn't have no knowledge of? The serpent that was kicked out of heaven, which is an angel, why would he let that serpent in the Garden of Eden where everything was perfect to even tempt his creation to create the fall of man?
So what do you think about the idea he let that happen because he wanted you to love him by choice and not force?
I hear you, but...
Do you believe that or you doubt it?
No, I doubt it.
Okay. I understand. That's fine.
I was just going to tell you that I believe that,
Why do you think he did that?
Well, that's what I was going to explain. I think God created good and evil. And the reason he created evil is kind of along with what you said, so that we would have choice to make it back to him. But I don't think God sees so-called evil as being evil. It's just a thing that we need to have amongst us so we can be able to know right from wrong. It's almost like you wouldn't know what tastes good unless you knew what tasted bad. You wouldn't know what was good unless you knew what was bad. So you need the polarity to be able to learn from that. And since you come from God, you're going to make your way back to him. That's
amazing.
Yeah, but I hear you. I mean, thank you for your answer and everything. And it's good to be a first-time caller.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Call me again, man. Amazing.
When do you normally go live, Jesse?
Well, my show is 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time, just before the Hake report. His show comes right after mine at 9 to 11.
And is that every day, pretty much?
Monday through Friday, yes.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thanks, man.
All right, thank you, Steve. Amazing. So, tomorrow at 12 noon, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. The FallenState.tv. I interviewed Pastor Gino Jennings of First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ out of Philadelphia. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Do you still sin?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm a musician. And I know it's wrong to love jazz music. Now, our heart need to be saved or delivered from the poison of our emotions. God don't move. He's not going to bargain with us. He's not going to come down to our level.
You had a poster of a white Jesus, and you slapped the white Jesus.
Many of the Europeans have used the Bible to empower themselves, to hold in front of people of color, making them believe that it is the will of God that you bow to anything that is white. The internal hatred that many of the Republicans have towards people of color, Donald Trump just voiced it. I played piano for over 45 years.
White people, y'all something else. Y'all blame for everything. No wonder black people think that you're superior to them. To the point they call you white supremacy. They're worshiping you. How do you sleep at night knowing that you're being worshiped by a bunch of black people like that? From generation to generation to generation. They worship their white God. How do y'all sleep? The weak are worshiping you. Isn't that amazing? And by the way, for special shout-outs, if you want me to do personalized shout-outs for you, celebrations, weddings, birthdays, funerals, whatever it might be, go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cameo.com for Jesse Lee Peterson. And Super Chat, you can go to Trovo, JesseLeePeterson.live or Trovo. Also, exclusive content on Patreon.com, SubscribeStar.com, and RockFin.com, all right? Exclusive content, a major store for our merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store. rebuildingtheman.com/store. Amazing. After I do the Hake show today, I got to go out to the big studio and do 2 more hours of the FallenState.tv.
What
we are taping some new episodes today. So 2 more hours. It's amazing. Alex is out of Colorado. Alex, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. Hope all is well, man.
Thank you. All is well. It is.
Hey, so I just wanted to say that when I first heard you talk the mask thing,
yes,
like Joe was saying, I also kind of sided in thinking you were wrong, but I came to realize pretty quickly that, you know, the business does have the right to, you know, tell you they don't want to serve you.
Yeah.
It's like the cake bakery thing. Do you remember when the Christian cake company didn't want to bake
the gay cake.
The gay cake. But they still were sued for like millions.
Yeah. Right.
You know. And what's hard about it is so businesses are public accommodations even though they're private.
Yes.
They still have to file, you know, and get business licenses. So legally, they can't deny someone like in a wheelchair from coming in and shopping solely because of the wheelchair.
Were you ready?
And that. Sorry, go ahead.
Were you jogging? You sound like you running out of breath.
Oh yeah, I did just hop out of a car.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
So that same law, it's already in law that, you know, a public accommodation cannot restrict someone's free movement and breath for the matter. So that's where the mask mandate kind of comes into conflict with pre-existing law. But, you know, I just wanted to say that you're right. It's morally okay for a business to kick you out, but it's actually not legally. You know?
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying, but unless the businessman speak up for himself and say, well, I want people to come into my store, I don't care if they have masks on or not, then we can step in to help him because we know where he's coming from. But if we go in there and the business owner say, no, get out, you got to have a mask on, then we have no right of imposing ourselves, right?
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
And so,
however, you have the right to, you know, claim against them, you know, because of existing law.
But
people aren't going that route. They're getting mad and making, public scenes.
Yep. The civil rights people, which is no such thing as civil rights, of course, when they were marching down in Alabama and other areas, and they started to impose on private businesses, white businesses in those areas, and making it, you're going to serve me coffee or breakfast or whatever I want.
Yeah.
Did they have a right to try to force the white people in private businesses to serve them?
No.
How about the other thing you just said about the mask thing? Does that apply? Would that apply to the same businesses when the blacks were trying to force the whites to feed them or service them?
Well, I don't think the business has the right to force you to wear a mask, but they do have the right to kick you out if you don't wear a mask and they want you to.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But not existing law states that they can't, though. That's the problem. If they actually follow
I
that
see what
law.
you're saying. So the existing law says you can't kick out a person in a wheelchair. Likewise, the existing law says you can't kick out a person that doesn't have a mask on.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But they don't follow that. And the mask laws aren't really laws. They're executive orders by the governors,
Yeah, they're not
They
laws.
haven't gone through. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where the struggle comes in. But I just wanted to say that.
When I appreciate that too, Alex. But I want to have one more thing about that. When people go into a store that says, I want you to wear a mask, and they try to force them, they tell them you got to put it on, but the person say, no, I'm not putting it on. Are they refusing to put it on for the right reason, or is it ego?
Oh, that's a tough question. Personally, I think it's more ego, but I think the underlying cause is just, like you're talking about. He said, well, if we could get 5 people to go in and wear a mask at once, it is kind of egotistical to want to do that.
Yeah.
And but it's public. What is it? It's disobedience, public disobedience, I think it's called.
Right.
And I've participated in some of them. And
you have?
Absolutely.
Really? So you have gone into stores with the intent to say, I'm not going to wear a mask?
Yep, me and a group of like 15 other people.
Why were you doing that? Why were you personally doing that?
Well, personally, to see if they would react.
And did your ego flare up?
Absolutely. Was not good. Was not good, Jesse, but I don't know. You have to be an example at some point.
And so do you stand up to your wife?
I'm not married.
You stand up to your girlfriend?
I ain't got no girlfriend.
You stand up to your mama?
Yes, sir. I definitely stand up to my mama.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate your call on this, man. And
I appreciate you, man.
And I would be careful forcing my way into the businesses, though.
No, it is dangerous. It's wrong to follow the ego, but
yeah.
I appreciate you too, man. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call. Amazing call. Really, really amazing call. Rafael is out of Canada. Rafael, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
The hate news, not the fake news.
That's for sure. With the beta back.
Hey, thanks for the warm welcome, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
I just want to start and say, because, everything you say, I always, I do what you say. I don't just blindly follow it. I question it in my head.
Right on.
Today was the first time I was like, oh, is Jesse wrong about the mask thing? And I just want to say, just like the last caller, I don't think you're wrong. I changed my mind over the morning.
I just, as children of God, we got to be above the children of the darkness, and we definitely should fight back. We should get involved. We should run for government. We should run for office. But we got to make sure that we're doing it with the right source and for the right reason.
Right? And so, yeah, that's so true, right? And I had a really amazing question for you, because it's kind of like a step further, because a lot of the women that call, the argument, or not the argument, but the conversation is usually around, well, that husband would have been an alcoholic already. He's alcoholic. And then the question is, well, did you cause him to be that? So, Jesse, my question is, like, you know, because a man can be a beta, an alcoholic, or because he didn't forgive his mama, or because his wife, Satan, is her daddy. So, you know, which one is it? Like, if the guy was a beta already, can a woman change a man into an alpha?
No.
Like, is it the woman?
No.
No.
Absolutely no. And if a man is an alcoholic, the reason that he's an alcoholic because he's been turned away from God, and Satan is his daddy, and 99.999% of the time, but not all. No. He's turned away from the father by the mother or the grandmother. And when you're turned away from the God, from the true God, which is above and inside of you, you're empty, you have conflict, so you're trying to find something to make you feel better. And so you end up reaching out for the wrong things, which never work. It never caused you to feel better. And then after a while, you realize these things are not working. And so you start to seek God, and that's when you find him, and you go and forgive, and you return to him. Then you no longer need those things, and he will take them away from you.
Right.
But a woman, because she's such ego, she thinks she is God, she get with a man, and Satan telling her, you can change him. Your love can change any man. You can change him, right? And when he doesn't change, then she go out and accuse him.
Yeah. But it was also her driving him crazy at the same time. It's like a mix.
When he's with the woman, because you become attracted to what you hate, every woman you get involved with is mama, and that woman is your God. And so you try to please God, and she's not going to let you please him because she loves the control, but it drives you mad. It drives you deep into your alcoholism, your drugs, or whatever it is you're into.
So these women is it that they have to stop letting these betas marry them?
They should stop trying to think they're God and marry these men or living with them thinking that they're going to change them.
But you said they can't change them. If they're a beta, they can't change them.
Women can't change them even if they were alpha male, alpha female. But only God can change you. No human being can change you.
So isn't the way to fix it like the women have to choose the right guys in the first place, like choose good Christian men instead of marrying like male feminist betas?
Well, women shouldn't choose any man. She should seek the kingdom of God, and he will add it unto her if it's meant to be that way.
Oh, okay. Thanks, bro. Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, because that's like the next step of the combo with all these ladies, because every lady that calls in says, you know, I've seen a woman that followed her husband. He was just a drunk. He just ended up buying all this beer, you know?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you follow the man. and I guess it's both. Like it's them driving them crazy, and the man was already a beta, right, Jesse? Like
100%. Yes.
So the way out of this mess, you know, is like, what is it like? What's
you got to seek
like,
first the kingdom of God and his right way, and that's the only way you're going to overcome the mess, as you call it. All the way. It's spiritual, and there's no human being that can save you. It's spiritual. I can't save anyone. That's why, if you pay attention, I'm always pointing them back to themselves, back to God, because it is spiritual. It's a warfare between good and evil. And there's nothing that no preacher, no teacher, no psychologist, psychiatrist, no one can do for you. We can't even change ourselves. Only God can do that. once we forgive the mothers and return to Him.
Yeah. You know what's so funny, Jesse? I gotta say this. Like, you know what's so interesting is that you've been saying the same thing for 30 years, and it's right because it's good. So that means it hasn't changed in 30 years. Like, if you watch your old interviews,
yes,
your opinions aren't different. They're literally the same. So just that in itself, like, it stand the test of time, right?
Yes.
So that's, like, to any of these haters that call up and say, Jesse, no, you're wrong, you know? Well, like, is it really that Jesse, his 30 years of helping young men, helping families and such, like, all that, and, you know, speaking positively about everything, that's wrong? Like, I don't know, Earl, Tony, Russ, Maze, I know y'all listening, like, Jesse ain't wrong. Y'all gotta call him up and say, Jesse, I love you, like, thank you.
Well,
Honestly,
they can't see because Satan is their daddy. They have hatred in their hearts. And until they are ready to return to the Father, you can't convince them of that either. They just have to suffer and die because even God will let them die in their darkness unless they are ready to come back to Him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And isn't it so true? There's no isms. Like, that's the other thing. Like, it's hate.
It's hate.
But
you either
it's
hate
like,
or you love. There's no other thing. No other.
Yeah, because I think a lot of them, they've experienced hatred from whites, maybe, let's say. Like, let's use that extreme example where it's a black and they've been hated on by whites.
Well, most of the blacks have not received not even hatred from the whites. They just believed into a lie from other blacks that they made their leaders, that white people are like that. They haven't even experienced it. They just believe a lie. And once you believe a lie, it's hard to believe the truth again.
Hmm.
So they have never. Mays live in a white neighborhood, and I don't know about those other guys because they never said where they live. But most of these people live in white neighborhoods, and still, some of them are even married or living with white women, and they're sleeping with the enemy. And yes, they said that. Mate, Rafael,
Hey.
I appreciate you, though, man. I gotta run due to time. All right.
That's all good. For sure, always a pleasure, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Amazing question. Hake is out for those who just tuning in looking for Hake. He has a beta back problem again. Beta. But you know what? I'm going to be training some of the other guys here to run Hake show or run my show if I'm out. And eventually they'll have their own shows. We got to build a network of men. A network of men who can do this. We need millennial men carrying on, carry the torch. Steve is out of Los Angeles. Steve, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. I know it's almost at the end of the show, so I'll try to be quick.
Okay.
I wanted to take a shot at the biblical question.
Where did the idea come from that a preacher should teach from a Bible in church? How did that come about?
I have no clue how that came about. I'm guessing that it's probably from tradition. But I just wanted to mention real quick, have you ever seen that movie, Jesus of Nazareth?
Yes.
The old movie from the 70s?
Yes.
So there's a scene in there where Jesus is speaking, and they're asking him about the commandments. They say, "What do we do about the commandments?" Somewhere, the gist of it is he said, "Just throw them away, because God's law is written on the hearts."
Yep.
And that
it truly is.
Yeah. And he said it's living. It's living in the hearts of man.
It's a living word.
It's a living word. So, but he wasn't preaching from a Bible. All of this, from what I can tell, all of his wisdom came directly from God.
Absolutely, man. And that's how it is for us today. If we return to the Father, all the wisdom will become from within, not without.
Yeah.
Thank
and that's
you.
One thing I appreciate. Yeah, no problem. And I just want to say I really appreciate that about your church. Your church is definitely the best around there.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for being a part of it as well.
Okay.
God
All right,
bless you.
Call you again.
All right now. Thank you. Ian out of California. Welcome to the HakeReport.com. You're on the air, Ian.
Hey, Jesse.
How you doing, sir?
Dude, I'm doing good. Good to talk to you again.
Thank
One
you.
of my favorite people in the whole world.
Amazing.
And I'm white.
You white?
and Mexican. I'm half Mexican.
Yeah, you sound kind of Mexican. I stayed up all night to get a Mexican.
Yeah, so I wanted to say something about that woman that called you this morning about the drunk husband or whatever like that.
Oh, yeah. What was her name, Joe? Monique.
I hope she's still listening because, she said she was a humble servant of God. And I want to know how her disobeying God and getting a divorce is being a humble servant. It sounds like she's being selfish. It sounds like she wants to make her life easier and better. And it sounds like she's like, what? How old is she? She wants to go get a boyfriend? I think that's what she really wants.
Did she say that?
I think it's. No, I don't think so. But
I don't remember her saying that.
Like what? Yeah, I don't remember her saying that. But like, it sounds like she just, it sounds like what she just wants to make her life better, really.
Well, the impression I had is that, she is a nice lady, and the churches have made women feel good about being wrong and make them think that, especially with these preacher women and stuff like that. I just think she was misguided, and
well, like you said, you recommended that she not get a divorce, but she could not be with him like that.
Right.
But I think the reason why she wants to get a divorce is because she probably wants to go off and start another life with a guy or something, get a boyfriend. And that's what I'm thinking. That's why the reason
I know,
why
but
she wants to get a divorce.
we can't do probably, man. What the?
Yeah. What? Well,
you would want someone to do probably.
Human beings are very predictable in a way.
I know, but when we don't know something, it's best to leave it blank. We can't come up with something.
Yeah.
We can't do probablys and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. One more thing too. You talked to the younger black guy today on your other show too. That you had him on the show.
Oh, the interview.
The interview. Yeah.
That was Patriot J.
Patriot J. Okay, yeah. And he was talking about like the thing that why Trump was weak or something like that the last 2 weeks or something. And you asked like, what could he have done and stuff like that. Well, I felt like Trump was weak. I think that when he denounced the Capitol storming, he gave in to the left, accusing him of that.
When he said don't storm the Capitol.
Yeah, like after they stormed the Capitol, and he kind of like called it all this.
How was that weak?
I think he did it. I think how he felt when he said was separate was different because
but
I think
he never encouraged them to do it. Why? I mean, what was the weakness in telling them not to do it?
Well, it was the way that he said it. The word specifically on Smith. I felt like.
What was the word? Do you remember the word
that
made you think he was weak? I'm not saying he wasn't or was, but I'm asking you, what was the words that he said that made you think?
I'm trying to forget it, Jesse, because it hurt me real bad. I'm trying to forget it.
But you're not going to be. You're not going to be able to because you were traumatized.
I was traumatized because when I seen that Capitol storming, I thought it was a real change. I feel like we should have occupied it. We should have replaced all the Congress.
No, but what did the president say that made you think he was weak?
Yeah, I can't tell exact words.
Is it possible that due to your upset or disappointment in losing this battle, that when he said, hey, don't do that, you got mad because you liked the fact that they were doing it?
Well, no. at that. I felt like the battle was still on, but I felt like after that moment, what he said, I felt like, okay, well, that was all that momentum, and
but
now
that was the wrong thing for them to do.
mo-
They were set up. They should have never fallen into that trap. That's why it's not good
Yeah,
to
I mean,
be angry,
the certain-
because if a
certain
trap is set
actions-
for you, you won't see the trap. And then once it, now
Yeah.
look at how they're doing the Trump voters now. They're calling white people white supremacists, and they're going after everything that's white because they're now using that.
Well, yeah, well, they're going to start going after Christians next, just like Jesus said. I mean, Jesus already
we talked about that
prophesied
this
all
morning.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, and thank you, man.
No problem. No problem. Bye, Jesse.
All right, thank you, buddy. Amazing. When you're angry, folks, and whomever you put your faith in, which is in the Great White Hope for a lot of people, if he does one thing that go against what your anger want him to, all of a sudden he's gone. He's no longer your hero, but your zero. And you don't realize you're basing it on your own personal feelings. That's why I said have a space between you and thee, whatever thee may be, other person. All right? Because they say something or do something you don't agree with, that hero is a zero. You don't see that illusion of that person anymore. You see him in a different light. Our battle is a spiritual battle, warfare between good and evil. And when someone stand up and speak up, you support that. You're there, but don't make that person your God. All right? Because once God says something or does something that you don't like, it's over. It's over. And overcome anger so you don't get caught up in a trap. One of the ways that women are able to destroy men is that men are angry and they can't please their female God. And so they get you angry or frustrated, then you go and do something crazy. Now they call the cops on you. But if you don't have that anger, they cannot set you up like that. You'll call the cops on them. Check out Hake, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, 9 to noon. No, I'm sorry, from 9 to 11 Pacific time, Monday through Friday. And check out my show, JesseLeePeterson.com, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. So I got to go. Not only is the time up for the Hake Report, I got to go and do the Fallen State, right from here to the Fallen State stage. Isn't that amazing? And we have a brand new episode of it tomorrow at 12 noon. You don't want to miss it. TheFallenState.com. Go to BondRebuildingTheMan.com and support Bond. All right? I do appreciate it. Support Hake as well. Support Hake. TheHakeReport.com. Thank you all for tuning in and calling in. It was amazing. Have a good day. Remember, Hake, he has a beta back. And if he's feeling better, he'll be back tomorrow. And I believe tomorrow is open line, right? Tomorrow, Friday? Yep. Tomorrow is open line Friday. Have a good day, folks. Thank you for everything. Bye.